The fractured moon of Elowin trembled under a dust-choked sky as Aria Voss stood in her outpost workshop, her hand steadying a trembling Krell girl. Here she was, guiding Krynn into a shimmering Mobility Exosuit, its nanite veins pulsing blue fire against the girl's lilac quartz skin. For Aria, clad in her sweat-slicked tank top and neon-lit holsters, this felt like a triumph, a defiant spark igniting hope in a paralyzed alien's legs. A day she'd etched in her rogue's log as pure victory. Little did she know, that act of human grit would unleash a storm of trouble, elite enforcers, Dravix shadows, and a galaxy on the edge. Let's rewind to the beginning, where this blaze ignited.
The shattered moon of Elowin hung like a fractured jewel in the void, its low-grav surface a graveyard of pre-schism mining rigs twisted by ancient quakes and Dravix raids. Dust storms howled through the skeletal frames, carrying the metallic bite of exposed ore and the faint ozone tang of failing shields. In the heart of this forsaken outpost, a cluster of domed habitats patched with scavenged hull plates. Aria Voss, a 23-year-old heroine with flowing dark hair and fierce green eyes, clad in skimpy space Lara Croft-inspired attire, a low-cut tank top that hugged her athletic curves, tight shorts accentuating her toned legs, and rugged boots with glowing neon tech holsters strapped to her thighs, fought for her life. Her plasma welder blazed a blue arc, melting through the carapace of a Dravix scout drone that had breached the airlock, its spindly legs skittering across the grated floor like a venomous insect. At 23, Aria was a rogue flame in the galaxy's shadows, exiled from the core worlds for hacking a relay that exposed Dravix corruption, now the Human Alliance's beacon keeper, scavenging relics to fuel uprisings against the Empire's purity cults. Her flowing dark hair whipped in the recycled gale, fierce green eyes narrowed against sweat. Low-cut tank top, sweat slicked to her athletic frame, tight shorts and rugged boots braced against the uneven grab, she dodged a stinger probe. Neon tech holsters strapped to her thighs hummed, deploying a chaff grenade that fried the drone's circuits in a shower of sparks. "Come on, Bug. Earth's death world didn't raise quitters," she growled, her voice a blend of grit and defiance. The drone collapsed in a molten heap, but alarms wailed, more signatures inbound. Aria sealed the airlock with a final weld, her chest heaving, then slumped against a console in her workshop. A cluttered haven of glowing interfaces, scattered components, and holographic blueprints flickering like defiant stars. Log entry. Day 147 of Exile. Another Dravix probe, testing our edges like always. But we adapt. Alliance needs this hull. One more relic and Thorn's fleet gets a shield boost. She wiped her brow, green eyes scanning the void through the viewport. The storm outside mirrored her isolation, but a soft scrape at the inner hatch pulled her from the haze. The airlock cycled, revealing a figure huddled against the wind, a teenage Krell girl, her crystalline skin shimmering like fractured quartz under the dome lights, iridescent hair and jagged spikes framing a face etched with pain. Barely 16, she hobbled on makeshift crutches, sharp amber eyes dulled by exhaustion, her simple shard-weave tunic torn at the hems from the trek across the outpost fringes. Aria's welder cooled with a hiss as she straightened, holsters dimming. "Lost your stride out there, kid? Storm's no joke. Come in before you shatter." The girl, Krynn, as Aria would learn, hesitated, her crystalline facets catching the neon glow, then nodded, crutches clacking as she entered. She perched on a nearby crate, movements graceful despite the evident strain, watching Aria with quiet intensity. "Name's Aria. You Krell? From the Enclave shards?" Krynn dipped her head, voice chiming like wind through crystals. "Krynn. Heard of the human fixer. Enclave tech. Help?" Aria smirked, handing her a sealed nutrient pack. "Fixer? Yeah. Dravix hit your miners? Sit. Mind the wires. Want to see a human trick?" As the storm battered the dome, Aria narrated her work, bypassing a Dravix encrypted circuit on a salvaged hover drone. "See, their purity locks are brittle. Humans reroute chaos into power." Krynn's amber eyes brightened fractionally, leaning in as Aria demonstrated a quick fold tool from her holster, unfolding it into a multi-scanner. Over the next few cycles, Krynn became a fixture, passing tools and earning tentative smiles that cracked her faceted reserve. "Your kind endures heat. We Krell heal slow, like growing lattices. Humans burn fast." One cycle, as Aria welded a shield emitter, Krynn's crutches slipped, sending her tumbling in the low grav. Aria caught her mid-fall, strong arms steadying the girl's lightweight frame. Easy, Sparkles. No breaking on my watch. Krynn's cheeks flushed a deeper quartz hue, amber eyes meeting Aria's green ones with vulnerability. Mining collapse. Dravex sabotage. Shattered my neural crystals. Healers say, permanent. Enclave calls me broken shard. Useless for lattice rights. Aria's jaw tightened, a flicker of her own scars surfacing. Childhood raiders glassing her colony, leaving her an orphan exile. She knelt, voice low and fierce. Broken? Nah. Humans call that a forge. Your crystals just need a kickstart. My kind's wired for adrenaline surges. We'll figure it. Krynn's grip tightened on her crutches, a spark of hope in her chime-like voice. You? Fix impossible? Aria grinned, flowing hair falling across her face as she stood. Impossible's just Dravex talk. Watch this. She ignited her welder blue flame dancing as she improvised a brace from scrap alloy, wrapping it around Krynn's crutch for stability. The girl tested it, standing taller, a soft glow rippling through her skin. From the comm panel, Clyra's hologram flickered to life. The mid-20s Silari hacker with glowing bioluminescent tattoos covering her scaled blue-green skin, sharp angular features, and piercing violet eyes scanning data streams through her sleeveless vest and cargo pants. Aria, Dravex probe spiking, your little visitor's timing suspect. But that collapse echoes my world's glassing. Kids got fight, nurture it. Finn's voice crackled over the link. The 20-year-old lanky tech geek's stammer evident, messy blonde hair and wire-rimmed glasses implied in his eager tone from the remote relay. Hey Aria, Enclave scans show neural fractures. Tough, but your human biohacks, inspiring. For the Alliance. Sent you crystal interface schematics. Aria nodded, clapping Krynn's shoulder. See? Team's got your back. Stick around. You're not broken. You're just mid-spark. Krynn's amber eyes shimmered, the bond ceiling in the workshop's hum, a quiet defiance against the storm outside. 3 cycles passed without Krynn's scrape at the hatch, the outpost's silence gnawing at Aria like an unset weld. Dust storms raged fiercer, Dravex signatures flickering on sensors, but Aria's worry sharpened her edge. Log, kids ghosted? Enclave locking down? Or worse? She suited up, tank top and shorts practical under a light overcoat, neon holsters charged, and ventured into the Krell quarter. Elegant spires of living crystal rising from the moon's ravines, facets pulsing with inner light, walkways humming with harmonic chimes. Krell glided past in shard robes, their forms rigid and luminous, casting wary glances at the human intruder. Overhearing whispers near a lattice fountain. Krynn of Shard Clan, shattered in the surge. A tragedy for our pure lines. Aria's gut twisted. She approached a cluster of elders, green eyes fierce. Krynn, the girl from my outpost. Where is she? An angular-faced Krell turned, facets narrowing. Human meddler. Why seek our flawed shards? Aria held her ground, boots planted. She's been helping. Watching my fixes. Hasn't shown in days. Concerned. The elder's chime voice softened fractionally. Isolated now. Collapse irreparable. Neural crystals fractured beyond lattice repair. Clan deems her. Dimmed light. Aria's resolve ignited like her welder. Dimmed? Bull, point me to her, or I'll scour every spire. Back in the workshop, Aria dove into action, pulling salvage crates and holographic blueprints. Clyra, pull Krell neural specs, cross-reference with human exosuits from Death World archives. Clyra's hologram sharpened, violet eyes flickering code. On it. Dravex tampered those minds. Purity purge on. Impure. Ores. Kids' crystals need surge interfaces. Your adrenaline-tuned nanites could bridge it. Finn chimed in, stammering excitement. Schematics incoming. Patched overalls can't wait. Your ingenuity, Aria. It's why I volunteer. Aria worked through cycles. Stim packs fueling her as welder arcs lit the dome, holsters sinking power cells. Hang in there, Krynn. Humans don't leave sparks unlit. By the 4th cycle, the prototype gleamed. A lightweight exosuit, sleek veins of nanite-laced alloy conforming to Krell forms, adjustable for growth, interfacing shattered crystals with human-inspired adrenaline pulses for fluid motion. Not flawless, resolution low, adaptation needed, but a lifeline, bypassing slow-heal rigidity with fiery adaptability. Test log, suit ready, now, delivery. Aria's green eyes burned with purpose, the storm outside a mere whisper to her inner blaze. Dawn's pale light filtered through the dome as the airlock chimed, pulling Aria from a final calibration. She straightened, tank top clinging with residual sweat, tight shorts shifting as she approached. Her heart skipped. Krynn stood there, crutches discarded but form slumped, supported by a towering Krell elder in crystalline robes, angular facets stern under a hooded cowl. Human Voss, the elder intoned, voice a resonant chime laced with suspicion. The dimmed one insisted, Shard clan tolerates this. Visit. Krynn's amber eyes, shadowed by pain, lifted toward Aria's voice. Missed. Your fire. Heard whispers. Suit. Aria crouched, fierce green eyes softening, flowing hair brushing her shoulders. Right here, Sparkles. Been burning the cycles for you. She unveiled the exosuit, its veins pulsing faintly like captured starlight. This weaves your crystals with human surge, bypasses the shatter, translates my hot-blooded kick into motion. Won't be perfect at first. Shapes and flows to learn, but you'll walk your lattice again. The Elder Vorn, stepped forward, facets narrowing. Sacred lattices? Krell heal through purity, your flesh-tech chaos offends it. Krynn's hand reached out, crystalline fingers trembling. Please, try. Vorn hesitated, then nodded curtly. Proceed. But clan watches. Aria knelt, gently fitting the suit around Krynn's lower form. Lightweight frame hugging her quartz skin, veins sinking with a soft hum. She connected the neural nodes at the spine, neon holsters linking a power cell. Breathe steady, kid. Activating. Might tingle like storm surge. With a flick, nanites ignited, adrenaline analogs flooding the crystals. Krynn gasped, her body arching as warmth rippled through her facets, amber eyes widening. She pushed up, legs unfolding beneath her, steady and strong. A tentative step, then another, spinning in low-grav grace, iridescent hair flaring like a comet's tail. I move! Crystals sing, warm, like your flame! Krynn laughed, a chime of pure joy, hugging Aria fiercely, her lightweight form pressing against the human's athletic build. Aria grinned, clapping her back. Told you! Humans ignite what's dimmed. Vorn's facets shifted in awe, voice reverent, starfire woven into lattice. Unprecedented. You've mended what purity could not. From the comm, Clyra's hologram bloomed. Scans confirm, neural sync at 80%. Dravex would purge this miracle. Finn stammered over the link. Aria, it's genius. Your curves of the design. Inspire. Alliance owes you. Krynn beamed, testing a leap. Thank you, friend. No more broken shard. Aria's green eyes gleamed, the workshop alive with possibility, but a shadow lingered. Dravex signals spiking on the horizon, the suit's glow, a beacon in the gathering storm. The pale dawn light of Elowin's fractured horizon seeped through the outpost's reinforced viewports, casting elongated shadows across Aria Voss's workshop like fingers of warning. The air hummed with the low thrum of stabilizing generators, a fragile peace after the night's calibration tweaks on the exosuit. Aria stood at her workbench, her low-cut tank top streaked with fresh grease from a final alignment on a secondary power node, the fabric clinging to her sweat-dampened, athletic frame. Her tight shorts rode up slightly as she leaned in, rugged boots planted wide for balance in the erratic low-grav, flowing dark hair tied back in a hasty braid that still managed to escape in wild strands. Neon tech holsters on her thighs pulsed faintly, synced to the suit's crystalline interfaces, a testament to her relentless ingenuity. She muttered under her breath, fierce green eyes focused through a magnifier lens. Come on, you stubborn shard. Link clean, or Krynn's first steps turn to stumbles. The exosuit lay splayed on the bench, like a dormant exoskeleton, its nanite veins glowing softly, a fusion of human adrenaline analogs and Krell lattice tech that could rewrite the girl's shattered world. Aria's mind flickered to the kid's joyful spin the cycle before, that chime laugh echoing like victory. For a moment, the exile's isolation felt distant, replaced by a spark of purpose, the Alliance's rogue beacon igniting one life at a time against the Dravek's shadow. A sharp chime shattered the quiet, followed by the blare of proximity alarms. Aria's head snapped up, welder humming in her grip as the outer airlock cycled without clearance. "Clara, talk to me, bogies?" Her comm crackled, the Solari hacker's voice slicing through static, laced with urgency. "Aria, 4 signatures, Krell transponders, elite grade. No Dravex ping, but they're hot-footing it your way. Enclave enforcers, your suit demo must have lit a fuse." Before Aria could respond, the inner hatch exploded inward with a resonant crack, crystalline shards peppering the floor like brittle confetti. 4 towering Krell enforcers stormed the breach, their forms imposing monoliths of shifting prism armor that refracted the dawn light into blinding rainbows. Each stood nearly 8 feet, faceted plates humming with embedded energy fields, angular helms crested with shard spikes that caught the neon glow from Aria's holsters. In their gauntleted hands they gripped ceremonial energy staffs, slender rods etched with lattice runes, tips coiling with azure plasma that could shear hulls or vaporize flesh in a heartbeat. The lead enforcer, his armor etched with elder rank facets, leveled his staff, the hum deepening to a threatening growl. "Aria Voss, human rogue, your presence is commanded at Shard Clan Citadel. Comply without resistance." His voice boomed like a struck gong, echoing off the workshop walls, the other 3 fanning out to block exits, their prismatic visors scanning with cold precision. Aria's pulse spiked, welder raised instinctively, blue flame flickering to life in a defensive arc. Her green eyes darted. Tools scattered, suit exposed, no time for a full lockdown. "Enforcers? On what charge? Tampering with your sacred lattices? Or is this about the suit? Krynn? She okay?" Dread coiled in her gut, visions of past raids flashing. Dravek zealots glassing her childhood colony, enforcers dragging screams into the void. Were these Krell puppets, Dravek's spies in crystalline guise? The irony bit deep. Krell dismissed humans as unstable sparks, fragile meat in a galaxy of rigid purity, yet here they were, storming her den like she was a threat worth 4 elites. The lead enforcer, Vexar, his helm plates marked him, didn't lower his staff, but his facets shifted fractionally, a Krell tell of restrained surprise. The dimmed one, Krynn, thrives under the weave you've wrought. Her steps echo through the spires. But Clan Elder demands your accounting. Flesh tech in lattice rights, unprecedented. You will come. Now. Aria's mind raced, weighing odds. 4 against 1, their armor shrugging plasma like rain, her welder a pea shooter in close quarters. But surrender wasn't in her blood. Earth's death world had hammered defiance into her bones. She extinguished the flame, holsters dimming as she raised her hands slowly, boots shifting for a potential spring. "Fine. But if this is a purge setup, tell your elder humans don't shatter easily." Vexar gestured sharply, and the enforcers closed ranks, forming a phalanx around her front, rear, flanks, like a living cage of glittering facets. One brushed her arm, the contact sending a chill through her tank top. Their skin-cool aura clashed with her human warmth, a reminder of the gulf between sparks and stone. They marched her through corridors and markets, stairs like plasma lances on the collared rogue. A miner muttered, "Play, Voss?" She nodded fiercely. "Alliance business. Keep relics flowing." But inside, doubt gnawed. Had the suit crossed some purity line? Krynn's hug felt like a lifetime ago. Now the phalanx's hum drowned her thoughts. Enforcers, boots thudding in sync, their prisms casting erratic rainbows across the dust-swept paths. The trek to the Krell quarter wound through ravines carved by ancient quakes, the air thickening with harmonic chimes from distant spires. Aria's rugged boots crunched crystal gravel, her athletic frame tensing under the enforcers. Vigilance. One staff hovered inches from her back, a constant threat. Low grav made every step a calculated bound, but the phalanx adapted seamlessly, their crystalline mass defying the pull. "Why the spectacle?" Aria pressed Vexar, voice steady despite the knot in her stomach. "If it's gratitude, a comping suffices. This feels like a dragnet." Vexar's helm tilted, facets glinting. "Human curiosity. Endless. Clan protocols demand witness for anomalies. Your starfire disrupts the lattice. Elder Vorn seeks truth. Silence now. Citadel approaches. Aria bit back a retort, green eyes, scanning the horizon. Shard Clan Citadel loomed, a colossal lattice of interwoven spires piercing the moon's haze, facets pulsing with inner azure light like a beating heart of pure crystal. Walkways spiraled upward, guarded by drone sentinels that whirred to life at their approach, scanning Aria's form with probing beams. The irony twisted sharper. Krell, architects of unyielding purity, raiding a human hovel for answers. Dravex would laugh. Their empire thrived on such fractures, pitting allies against the impure sparks like her. They ascended a grand causeway, the phalanx parting holographic barriers that shimmered like veils of light. Whispers rippled from alcoves. Krell kin in shard robes, their angular faces turning, amber eyes wide at the sight of a human in escort. The flesh weaver brings dimmed light? One chimed softly. Elder test the anomaly. Aria's skin prickled, tank top straps chafing under the scrutiny, but she held her head high, flowing hair catching the lattice glow. Memories surged, her exile trial, Alliance commanders deeming her too reckless, casting her to the fringes. This felt like echo, judgment from rigid stars. The Citadel's core chamber unfolded like a cavern of living quartz, walls veined with glowing conduits that hummed in harmonic symphony. Elder Vorn awaited on a raised dais, his grizzled form a mosaic of scarred facets, crystalline beard facets, framing a face etched with cycles of clan wars. Flanking him, a council of elders in hooded robes, their staffs grounded like roots. Krynn stood nearby, Exosuit's veins subtly pulsing, her iridescent hair spiked in nervous array, amber eyes lighting at Aria's entrance. "Aria, they came for you. I told them, your gift sings." Vorn raised a gauntlet, silencing the chamber's murmurs, his voice a deep resonance that vibrated the air. "Human Voss. Aria, weaver of forbidden fire, your contrivance has stirred the lattice. The dimmed one walks, crystals humming with alien warmth, but purity demands reckoning. Step forward. Submit to the weave scan." Aria advanced, enforcers parting like reluctant waves, her boots echoing on the crystal floor, the phalanx reformed behind, staffs humming low. Up close, Vorn's eyes, deep amber pools, held a mix of awe and wariness. "Scan? If this is your thanks, it's got teeth. Krynn's thriving, that's the win." She glanced at the girl, who nodded eagerly, but Vorn's facets narrowed. "The weave reveals intent," he intoned, activating a central conduit. Azure light bloomed, tendrils of energy coiling from the floor like seeking vines, brushing Aria's skin. The chamber dimmed, visions assaulting her mind. Echoes of the scripts, AI trials, but crystalline, her exile amplified, colony flames consuming Krynn's form, Alliance fleets shattering under Dravek's lances because of her meddling. Doubt clawed. Was the suit a curse, drawing purity purges? Her past helplessness roared. Raiders, shadows, isolation's void, green eyes squeezing shut. But Aria's will flared, human grit anchoring her. "Illusions! Your weave's just another storm. I built for her, not your rights. Humans don't bend. We burn through." She pushed forward, tendrils recoiling as if scorched, the light fracturing in prismatic bursts. Gasps echoed from the council. Krynn's chime voice cut through. "See? Her fire mends!" Vorn's facets shifted, the scan dissipating in a harmonic sigh. The chamber brightened, and the elders murmured in awe. "Truth verified," Vorn declared, voice resonant with newfound respect. "No malice in your spark, only chaotic light. Voss, you are no defiler. The suit, it weaves starfire into our core. By lattice right, we name you guardian of shards, ally to Shard Clan, with access to our enclaves and relics. Your ingenuity honors the pure." Relief flooded Aria, but triumph soured quick. A holographic alert flared on Vorn's dais, red chimes blaring, intruders, corporate raiders breaching outer spires. Dravek SIGs embedded, they've seized the dimmed one for the weave's blueprint. Krynn's eyes widened in horror, exosuit humming as she spun toward the viewport. distant explosions blooming, spiked raider ships, Dravex-backed miners, zealot drones swarming like locusts, descending on the enclave. Aria's holsters ignited, welder in hand. Raiders? On your watch? They want the suit to weaponize it against, impure, like us. Vorn's face hardened, staff rising. Purity cults, Dravex puppets, stealing our light for their empire. The girl, she broadcast a demo. It drew them like moths. Irony twisted vicious. Aria's gift, born of compassion, now a target. Krynn clutched her arm, voice trembling. Aria, they took me for scans, said my walk mocks gods. Vorn nodded to Vexar. Enforcers, mobilize the lattice guard. But Aria stepped forward, green eyes blazing. Wait, your rigidity won't cut it. Raiders exploit chaos, humans thrive in it. Let me lead. I've danced this with Dravex before. The council hesitated, facets flickering doubt, but Krynn's plea sealed it. Her fire. Trust it. As the chamber mobilized, Aria patched her comm, Clyra's hologram blooming urgently. Aria, raider nets lighting up, blueprints for sale to Dravex overlords. Kids en route to their fortress, I've got cords. Finn's stammer burst in. S-suit overrides ready, your design's hackable, turn it against them. Aria, be careful, your spark's too vital. Thorn's gravel voice joined. Voss, fleet cycles out, hold the line, Earth's legacy rides on you. Aria grinned fiercely, braid whipping as she shouldered her welder. Then let's ignite. Guardians or not, humans finished the weave. The phalanx reformed, not as cage, but shield, marching into the storm as raider shadows loomed, the citadel's light fracturing under assault. Suspense hung thick, Krynn's fate, the suit's secret, Aria's defiance teetering on the edge of galactic fire. The Citadel's core chamber thrummed with escalating urgency, azure conduits pulsing erratically as holographic alerts cascaded across the dais like fracturing ice. Elder Vorn's grizzled facets gleamed under the strobing light, his crystalline beard catching shards of red warning chimes, while the council elders shifted in their hooded robes, staffs grounding with resonant thuds that vibrated the crystal floor. Aria Voss stood at the chamber's heart, her plasma welder still hot in her grip, blue flame extinguished but ready, neon tech holsters on her thighs humming with charged anticipation. Her low-cut tank top clung tighter now, streaked with dust from the march, tight shorts practical against the low-grav drafts whipping through breached vents. Flowing dark hair escaped her braid in fierce strands, framing green eyes that burned with unyielding resolve. The weave scan's afterglow lingered in her veins, a crystalline echo of doubt banished, but the new threat ignited her like pre-schism fuel. Krynn clutched Aria's arm, her exosuit's veins flaring in sync with her rising panic, iridescent spikes of hair trembling as explosions rocked the spires outside. Aria, they came in the demo glow. Took me 4 scans, said my walk defies purity, Dravex whispers in their drones. Her amber eyes, sharp with fear, darted to the viewport. Spiked raider ships, hulking miners, vessels laced with zealot runes, swarmed the enclave's outer lattice, plasma lances shearing defensive drones and bursts of molten quartz. Vorn's voice boomed over the din, a harmonic command that steadied the chamber. Raiders, NextCorp filth, Dravex puppets scavenging our light for their empire's forge. The suit's signal drew them. They seek to twist it into weapons against the impure guardians. Seal the core. Protect the weave. Vexar and the enforcers snapped to action, prismatic armor shifting as they activated energy barriers, staffs coiling plasma to reinforce the walls. But the council murmured, facets flickering with rigid doubt. Human anomaly, it invites chaos. Purity demands isolation. Aria stepped forward, welder raised like a talisman, her athletic frame coiled for the fray. Isolation! That's Dravex talk. Lockdown and shatter. Your lattice is brittle without fire. Let me lead the counter. I've outrun their purges before. HAVEN 3, RELAY 7. Humans don't wait for the storm. We ride it. The irony hung thick. Krell, masters of unyielding crystal, now fracturing under assault, while her chaotic flesh offered the edge they dismissed. Krynn nodded fiercely, exosuit humming as she tested a step. Her spark mended me. Trust a guardian. Vorn's amber eyes locked on Aria, the weave scan's verdict still fresh. The trial, it revealed no malice, only defiant light. Voss, your intent weaves true, compassion in chaos. By Shard clan right, we affirm, you are Starfire Guardian, bound to our lattice with enclave access and relic shares. Fight with us, your ingenuity tempers our purity. A resonant chime swept the chamber, elders grounding their staffs in unison as the holographic seal bloomed over Aria, a prismatic emblem sinking to her holsters, granting neural-linked access to Krell defenses. Relief surged, but no time for ceremony. A bulkhead groaned under raider fire, shards raining from the ceiling. Guardian, Vorn continued, voice stealing, the dimmed one's abduction, NextCorp's fortress in the outer ravines. Their drones carry Dravex codes. They'll reverse the suit, forge exoskeletons for zealot hordes, retrieve her, purge the blueprint, or our alliance crumbles before it forms. Aria grinned wolfishly, braid whipping as she shouldered her welder. Purge? We'll melt their core. Clyra, patch me cords. Finn, override preps. Thorn, if your fleet's listening, vector shadows our way. Her comm crackled alive. Clyra's hologram sharpened, bioluminescent tattoos flaring through her sleeveless vest, piercing violet eyes scanning feeds. Cords locked. Fortress is a spiked hive. Drones swarms thick as stormflex, hacking their outer nets. Your suit signals a wild card could jam their scans if synced right. For my glassed kin, Aria, burn them. Finn's stammer burst through, laced with frantic ingenuity. Oh, overrides uploaded? Nanite backdoors in the suit. Turn it into a virus beacon. Aria, your design. It's poetry. Just come back. Alliance needs its spark. And, you. Aria smirked, a flicker of warmth cutting the tension. His crush a quirky anchor in the void. Thorn's gravel rumble joined. Voss, holding pattern 2 cycles out. Enclave's yours. Make Earth's legacy shine. Adapt or perish. The phalanx reformed around Aria, no longer captors but vanguard. Vexar's staff at her flank. The enforcers, prisms aligning in tactical sync. Krynn moved to join, exosuit propelling her with fluid grace, but Vorn raised a gauntlet. Dimmed one. Stay. Your light inspires, but the forge is no place for untested shards. Krynn's facets hardened, amber eyes defiant. Tested now. By her fire, I fight. Aria clapped her shoulder. Kids got grit. Let's move. Raiders won't wait for debates. They burst from the core chamber into spiraling walkways, the citadel alive with defensive hums, lattice guards gliding on anti-grav shards, energy barriers flaring against probing lances. Outside, the fractured moon's ravines churned under assault, raider ships hovering like predatory insects, drones swarming in ritual patterns, their hulls etched with Dravex purity runes that glowed mockingly. Aria led the charge down a causeway, low-grav bounds carrying her athletic form ahead, welder blazing to shear a drone mid-dive, blue flame melting its core in a spray of slag. Vexar, flank left, prism your staffs to reflect their plasma. Humans draw fire. Your lattice holds the line. The enforcer nodded, facets shifting respect, his staff unleashing a coherent beam that refracted incoming lances back at the swarm, shattering 3 drones in prismatic blooms. Your chaos tempers well, Guardian. The phalanx pushed. Aria's neon holsters deploying chaff bursts. Deceptive flares that mimicked suit signals, drawing drones into lattice traps where crystal emitters overloaded them in harmonic shrieks. Irony fueled her. Dravex-backed raiders, preaching purity, now ensnared by the very impure weave she'd sparked. Deeper into the ravines, the terrain turned treacherous, jagged quartz, outcrops under perpetual dust gales, low-grav pockets warping motion like treacherous eddies. A raider's skiff skimmed low, disgorging zealot troopers, carapest miners, augmented with crude Dravex graphs, mandibles clicking chants of purity through forge as they fired shard rifles. Aria rolled behind a spire, tank top tearing slightly at the shoulder, green eyes fierce. Clyra, jam their chants. Finn, suit sync live. The hacker's voice purred. Done. Overloading their comms with demo echoes. Drones faltered mid-swarm, crashing into ravine walls. Finn's patch hit. Aria's holsters linked to Krynn's suit, the girl's veins glowing as she spun, Exosuit propelling a low-grav leap to smash a trooper's rifle, crystalline fists empowered by nanite surges. Like your fire, burns clean. The phalanx pressed, Vexar's staff vortexing a trooper squad, but a moral shadow loomed. A holographic intercept flared on Aria's wristcom. NextCorp Lord's face, scarred facets twisted in zeal. Fleshweaver, the dimmed shard's blueprints will arm the pure. Your chaos ends in the forge. Visions teased from the link. Krynn strapped to a dissection lattice, suit vivisected. Dravex hordes, marching in replicated exosuits. Alliance enclaves glassed. Doubt clawed anew, echoing the weave scan. Was her compassion the fracture? Exile's isolation whispered, her signals dooming more than saving. But Aria shook it off, human will ablaze. Not today, zealot. We reclaim what's ours. She ignited her welder, charging a trooper line, blue arcs searing graphs as enforcers flanked, prisms amplifying the flames into inferno webs. Krynn darted beside, suits overrides hacking a drone to turn on its kin, explosions chaining through the swarm. The fortress loomed, a spiked bastion burrowed into a ravine maw, hulls plated with stolen Krell shards, ritual drones orbiting like vengeful moons. Breaches glowed with internal fires, NextCorp banners fluttering in the gale. Aria signaled the phalanx, stealth weave, my chaff draws outer guards, you breach the underbelly. Vexar nodded, his team gliding into shadows, staffs dimmed to whisper mode. Aria and Krynn pressed forward, the girls stepped sure. Exosuit a humming ally. Scared? Aria asked, voice low over the wind. Krynn's chime rang steady. With your spark? No. We mend together. A perimeter drone whirred to life, scanning. Clyra's hack glitched it momentarily, but zealot patrols closed, rifles chiming. Aria dove, welder flashing to melt a sensor array. Neon holsters unleashing EMP pulses that fried 2 patrols in overload sparks. Krynn followed, suits nanite surging to crush a rifle barrel, her lightweight form a blur. Human fire, Krell strength! But the alarm wailed, fortress vents spewing reinforcements, augmented miners chanting, drones vectoring in. Inside the breach, corridors twisted like forge veins, walls humming with disassembly rigs. Hollow feeds showed Krynn's No. The real abduction, her earlier scanned self, strapped amid blueprint extractors, exosuit probed by glowing clamps. The weave, it hurts. The feed echoed, a moral gut punch. Aria's resolve hardened. Compassion's cost, but humans paid in fire. Vorn, lattice breach on your mark. The elder's calm resonated. Guardian, purity with you. Reclaim the shard. The phalanx converged. Vexar's team shattering a guard post, prisms refracting internal lances into raider ranks. Aria led the core push, welder a whirlwind, searing a drone hive, holsters sinking to Krynn's suit for a tandem pulse that overloaded a bulkhead, venting zealots into the void. Irony peaked. Raiders, stealing for purity, fractured by the impure alliance they'd sown. Deeper, the dissection chamber loomed. Krynn strapped, Lord overseeing with smug facets. Fleshweaver arrives, your chaos fuels our forge. Aria burst in, phalanx at her back. Not yours. Humans rewrite the script. The clash erupted. Welder versus shard rifles, enforcer staffs vortexing drones. Krynn's twin freed in the melee. Moral crux. The Lord offered a twisted pact. Join NextCorp. Weaponize the suit for Dravex glory. Spare the girl. Purdy elevates. Your spark wasted in rebellion. Aria's green eyes blazed, visions of glassed worlds flashing. Purity? That's chains. We choose fire, adapt, endure, ignite. She overclocked the suit's overrides. Nanites viraling through the chamber's rigs, blueprints corrupting in digital flames. The Lord lunged, but Vexar's prism staff impaled his core, facets shattering. The weave reclaims. Krynn, real and freed, hugged her rescuer, exosuit sinking in triumph. You wove us whole. The fortress trembled, raiders routing as Clyra's hacks chained explosions, phalanx purging remnants. Outside, enclave signals rallied. Alliance pings blooming, a fragile unity forged in the crisis. But as they evacuated, a deeper shadow loomed. Dravek's overlord transmissions intercepting, hinting at greater purges. Aria's defiance held, the honor trials flip a blazing alliance, moral tensions tempered into an unbreakable lattice. The storm raged on, but the spark endured. The spiked fortress of NextCorp loomed like a venomous thorn in the ravine's maw, its hulls plated with pilfered Krell shards that glinted mockingly under Illowin's fractured storms. Dust gales howled through the breaches, carrying the acrid tang of overheating conduits and plasma-scorched alloy, while ritual drones orbited in erratic swarms, their purity runes flickering like false beacons. Aria Voss led the charge through a jagged underbelly vent, her plasma welder blazing a path, blue arcs melting security grates in controlled bursts. Her low-cut tank top was torn at the hem now, clinging to her sweat-slicked athletic frame, tight shorts dusted with quartz grit. Rugged boots finding purchase on the uneven plating despite the low-grav eddies. Flowing dark hair lashed her face, fierce green eyes locked on the shadows ahead, neon tech holsters on her thighs pulsing in sync with the team's advance. Behind her, the phalanx moved as one. Vexar and the Enforcers gliding with crystalline precision, prismatic armor dimmed to stealth facets, energy staffs coiled low. Krynn flanked Aria, her exosuit's veins humming with nanite surges, iridescent spikes of hair flaring as she bounded in empowered strides, amber eyes sharp with resolve. The chamber's coreword, "Feeds show the Lord dissecting my echo," Krynn chimed, voice steady over the gale. Aria nodded, welder humming. "Your echo's a decoy. Real use the spark. Clyra, keep those drones looped." The hacker's hologram flickered beside them, bioluminescent tattoos glowing through her projection, piercing violet eyes scanning overlaid schematics. Outer swarms jammed, your suit's signals bouncing their scans like a mirror storm. But internals are hot. Zealots inbound. Finn's stammer cut through the comm, laced with frantic updates from his remote relay. "Oh, overrides at 100%, Aria." Nanites primed. Link the suit to their core, and it'll virus the whole hive. Your ingenuity. It's saving shards. Just watch your flanks, crush or not. We need you back. Aria smirked mid-bound, green eyes flashing. "Flattery's your weapon, geek. Keep the code flowing." Thorn's gravel rumble joined. Voss, Enclave pings rallying. Rogue haulers en route. Hold the breach. Alliance fires kindling. The vent spat them into a sub-level corridor. Walls veined with disassembly rigs that whirred like hungry insects. Holographic blueprints of the exosuit flickering on overhead displays. Krynn's form vivisected in digital agony. Zealot patrols. Augmented miners with Dravek's graphs. Carapace enchanting Purity forges the weak. Rounded the bend, shard rifles chiming to life. Aria ignited first. Welder unleashing a whirlwind arc that seared the lead trooper's graphs. Molten alloy spraying as she rolled low-grav into cover. Phalanx, prism the flanks. Krynn, suit surge on their drones. Vexar bellowed a harmonic command, his staff vortexing a plasma coil that refracted incoming shards back at the patrol, shattering two zealots in prismatic explosions. The Enforcers fanned, armor facets aligning to amplify the blasts, turning the corridor into a hall of mirrors where raider fire boomeranged. Krynn leaped, exosuit propelling her in a crystalline spin, nanite fists crushing a rifle barrel before hacking a trailing drone, its runes glitching as Finn's overrides turned it against its swarm, exploding in a chain of overloads. "Like your Deathworld tales, adapt and shatter," she chimed, landing beside Aria with a resonant thud. But the fortress fought back. Bulkheads slammed, venting toxic gases that clawed at lungs, ritual alarms wailing purity hymns. A zealot elite, hulking with grafted mandibles, barreled through, staff lance thrusting at Aria's flank. She dodged, low grav bound carrying her over his sweep, welder countering in a blue blaze that melted his weapon mid-strike. "Humans don't chant, we act." Her neon holsters deployed an EMP chaff grenade, frying his armor in sparks, but the backlash singed her tank top's edge, heat kissing her skin. Vexar impaled the elite with a prism thrust, facets grinding. "Your fire tempers the blade, Guardian." Deeper corridors twisted into the heart, moral shadows deepening. Intercepted feeds showed the abducted Krynn, strapped to a central lattice, suit probed by glowing clamps, her chime screens echoing the warmth. "It twists." The Lord's holographic taunt looped, Fleshweaver, join the forge. Your spark purifies under Dravek's light. Doubt flickered. Aria's exile scars aching. Visions of failed signals dooming enclaves. But she crushed it. Human endurance ablaze. Not purification, that's chains. We free the weave. They breached the dissection chamber, a cavernous forge of humming extractors and ritual altars, air thick with ozone and incense. The real abducted Krynn writhed on the central rig, exosuit half-stripped, amber eyes dimmed by pain drugs, crystalline skin marred by probe scars. The Nexcorp Lord towered nearby, scarred facets twisted in zeal, mandibled maw clicking as drones orbited him like pious satellites. The anomaly arrives. Your chaos ends here. The suit's blueprint arms the pure. The dim shard breaks for the Empire. Aria charged, welder roaring, phalanx at her heels. Ends? We rewrite it. Blue flame clashed with the Lord's shard staff, arcs shearing his defenses as Vexar's enforcers vortexed the drones, prisms shattering hulls in harmonic bursts. Krynn the fighter leaped to her twin side, suit nanites surging to overload the clamps, freeing her with a resonant snap. The abducted Krynn gasped, staggering into her double's arms, exosuits sinking in a glow of shared warmth. Sister Spark, you came! Zealots swarmed from side vents, chants rising to a fever. Impure flesh, forge it clean. Aria's team diversified the fray. Aria's welder, a close-quarters whirlwind, searing mandibles and grafts. Krynn duo spinning in tandem, nanite fists pulverizing troopers. Enforcers, staffs weaving energy webs that ensnared squads, prisms amplifying to chain explosions. Clyra's hacks glitched the chamber rigs, extractors backfiring in slag showers. Finn's voice peaked. Core link open. Upload the virus now. Aria synced her holsters to the central console. Suit overrides flooding the system. Nanites viraling blueprints into digital ash. Raider networks fracturing like brittle quartz. The Lord lunged, staff lance grazing Aria's thigh, drawing a line of heat through her shorts, but her death world grit held, human endurance outlasting his rigid fury. Your purity's a cage. Humans break free. She overclocked the welder, blue surge melting his core facet, Vexar finishing with a prism impale. The Lord shattered in a chime scream, drones imploding as the virus chained outward. The chamber trembled, bulkheads venting as the fortress core whined toward meltdown. Evac! Now! Aria barked, grabbing the freed Krynn, phalanx shielding the retreat. They burst into the outer ravine, low grav chase erupting, raider skiffs vectoring pursuit, plasma lances scorching the dust. Aria's team bounded across outcrops, enforcers, prisms reflecting fire back at the swarm. Krynn duo suits hacking skiff drones mid-flight, turning them into kamikaze allies that rammed their kin in explosive blooms. But the tide swelled. Aria's partial broadcast from the chamber ignited the uprising, her voice echoing galaxy-wide via enclave relays. Shard Clan, Alliance, the Weave's ours. Rally to the fire. Pings flooded, human rogues hyperspacing in patched fighters, Krell lattice guards gliding from spires, enclave haulers repurposed as rams. Thorn's fleet crested the horizon, dreadnoughts unleashing phase-shift broadsides that pierced raider hulls, crystal-plated beams shredding spiked armor. Battle diversified in chaotic brilliance, rogue pilots slingshotted around quartz boulders, ion cannons salvaged from wrecks tearing through drone hives, enclave vessels launched shard missiles that warped local gravity, trapping skiffs and crushing eddies. Thorn's veterans stormed a raider command ship, pistols cracking as they rallied crews in faded uniforms. Aria coordinated mid-chase, welder fending a skiff lance while her comm blazed. Rogues hit ventral flanks, use those halls to breach. Enforcers prism the swarms. Clyra redirect their purges inward. Clyra's tattoos flared in projection, nets unraveling, purity loops self-destructing. Raider ships collided in confusion, chants fracturing to panic over open channels, their rigid formations crumbling under human Krell chaos. Irony thundered. Dravek's puppets, born of sabotage, routed by the compassionate spark they tried to steal. A rogue hauler rammed the lead skiff, kinetic bloom clearing Aria's path. Vexar's phalanx vortexed the remnants, prisms turning the ravine into a graveyard of shattered spikes. As the last raider limped into the storm, fleeing like ghosts, the teams converged on a reclaimed spire overlook. Explosions lit the horizon, the uprising solidifying, enclaves pinging unity, rogues whooping over comms, Thorn's fleet roaring approval. Aria stood panting, Krynn duo at her side, exosuits dimming in victory glow. We reclaimed it, not just the suit, the weave. Vexar clasped her arm, facets warm. Starfire Guardian, your chaos forges unbreakable lattice. The moral weight lifted. Aria's doubt, exile's isolation, compassion's risk, tempered into strength. The twins embrace a testament. Finn's relieved stammer. You did it, all of you. Clyra, from grudges to guardians, light spreads. But a final intercept hissed. Dravek's overlord stirring, greater purges whispered. Aria's green eyes turned to the stars, braid whipping in the wind. The fire blazed on, HFY unquenched. The crystal-lit plaza of Shardclan's citadel gleamed under Elowin's simulated dawn, spires of living quartz rising like triumphant sentinels from the ravine, their facets pulsing with a harmonious azure glow that bathed the gathered kin in ethereal light. The dust storms had abated to a whisper, the air humming with chimes of relief and victory. Enclave survivors standing shoulder to shoulder, miners with sharpened shard tools, lattice guards in polished armor, and human rogues mingling at the edges, their patched gear a stark contrast to the crystalline elegance. Holographic banners fluttered, emblazoned with the new Starfire emblem, a human flame woven into a Krell lattice, symbolizing the improbable alliance forged in the forge's ruins. Aria Voss stood at the plaza's heart, her athletic frame still dusted with ravine grit, low-cut tank top torn and sweat-stained, but worn like a badge, tight shorts practical amid the low-grav breeze, rugged boots planted firm on the resonant floor. Her flowing dark hair cascaded loose now, the braid undone in the chaos, framing fierce green eyes that softened for the first time in cycles. Neon tech holsters on her thighs dimmed to a contented hum, the welder holstered at her side, a tool that had turned the tide. Around her, the phalanx enforcers stood vigilant, Vexar's prismatic armor catching the light, while Elder Vorn presided from a raised dais, his grizzled facets warm with uncharacteristic openness. Krynn approached first, the teenage Krell girl. No, the twin sparks reunited, walking unaided in her exosuit, veins pulsing softly like veins of captured starfire. Her crystalline skin shimmered flawless now, probe scars mended by the lattice healers, iridescent hair spiked in proud array. She moved with fluid grace, the suit's nanites sinking seamlessly, and pulled Aria into a fierce embrace, her lightweight form pressing against the human's warmth. You gave me legs, and fire, Krynn chimed, voice a melody of joy and awe, amber eyes locking on green. No more dimmed shard. We walked the lattice together, your spark wove us whole. Aria hugged back, a rare grin cracking her defiant mask, one hand ruffling Krynn's spikes. Told you, kid. Humans don't fix, we ignite. Your grit did the rest. Keep burning. The galaxy needs more like you. The plaza murmured approval, chimes rippling like applause, as the twins, Krynn and her echo self, now bonded as flame weave, joined hands, exosuits sinking in a subtle glow that drew gasps from the elders. Vorn descended the dais, his crystalline beard facets catching the light, staff grounding with a resonant thud that silenced the crowd. He clasped Aria's hand in his gauntlet, the cool lattice meeting her human warmth in a symbolic fusion. Starfire Weaver, Guardian Voss. Your chaos tempers us. We owe you light. Relics and enclaves with the Alliance. The Dravek's purity crumbles before such fire. His amber eyes held respect, the Weave Scan's verdict etched deep, no longer anomaly but ally. From the holographic relay, Finn Harlan's feed bloomed, the lanky tech geek's messy blonde hair falling over wire-rimmed glasses, patched overalls a badge of his remote heroism. His freckled cheeks flushed, stammer breaking through. Aria, we did it. Your spark saved the shards, saved us all. I kinda have this crush, but it's your hacks that inspire. Alliance owes you stars. The plaza chuckled softly, a human rogue whooping in camaraderie, and Aria smirked, green eyes twinkling. Bold timing, geek. Your code turned the virus. Call it even, keep volunteering, and we'll weave more. Clara's hologram materialized beside Vorn, the Solari hacker stepping fully into projection, her bioluminescent tattoos glowing softly through her sleeveless vest and cargo pants, sharp angular features relaxed for once, piercing violet eyes warm. "From shadows to guardians," she said, voice lilting with healed grudge. "Dravex glassed my world, but your resilience, Human and Krell, lights the path. No more hacking alone. I'm in the blaze." She inclined her head to Vorn, a cross-species nod that sealed the pact, tattoos pulsing in harmonic sync with the spires. Admiral Thorne's gravel voice rumbled over the main comm, his image flickering. Deeply lined face, framed by streaked gray beard, piercing steel-blue eyes steady in his faded pre-schism uniform, scarred overcoat billowing in the flagship's bridge draft. "Voss reports galactic Nex Corp routed, Dravex puppets scattering. You turned a spark into a supernova. Earth's legacy endures through you. Fleet's docking relics. Keep the fire hot." Aria saluted loosely, boots shifting. "Copy, Admiral. Alliance blazes on. No purity quenches us." The ceremony swelled, elders recounting Ingenuity's triumph, miners raising shards, rogues cheering. Cheers rose like supernova. Cheers rose like a supernova, a testament to the HFY spirit, underestimation birthing awe, compassion forging unbreakable bonds. Emotional beats lingered. Aria's exile scars healed in the embrace, childhood helplessness transformed to leadership. Krynn's dimming ignited to dual flames. Clara's grudge alchemized to alliance. Even Vorn's purity softened to tempered light. As the crowd dispersed into the spires, Aria wandered to the plaza's viewport, overlooking the ravines where raider wrecks smoldered like fallen idols. The fractured moon's horizon stretched infinite, stars winking through the haze, wind from the vents whipping her flowing dark hair. She traced the starfire emblem on her holster, green eyes distant yet fierce. Doubt banished, the weave scanned, the moral crux of compassion's risk had only steeled her. Log entry. Cycles turn, but the spark holds. Suits just the start. Dravex overlords stir in the voids, ancient anomalies whispering in relic logs. Greater weaves await. A soft chime approached. Krynn, exosuit humming. "Guardian? Aria, walk with me?" Aria grinned, slinging an arm around her. "Lead on, Sparkles. The Alliance blazes. Humans don't just survive. We ignite." The plaza's glow faded behind, but the fire spread. Galaxy trembling at tales of the beacon keeper who wove stars from shards. The Dravex Empire's fall a prelude to cosmic reckonings. No threat could quench the resilient blaze. Humanity's will, eternal.